gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators, mount up. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon.
Alrighty, boys and girls, welcome back to another wonderful evening of Counter-Strike content over here on ARTV. Again, it's going to be Fragadelphia 8 online, and tonight we've got 8-Minded versus Horizon Union. The names might not be so familiar, but the players likely are. And we're going to be starting out on Train. I am your host for the evening, the one and only Bach TV, and with me is going to be Topical, and it looks like it's going to be a full-out B-rush here, and a stack from the CT side, Triple Man on the lower ramp. Seemed to work out at first, but they are dropping like flies here, and now the T side has been given entrance into the B site. B and Deca on the retake.
Deca with a nice shot there to open things up for the retake. Back to a 2-on-2, and Deca from range finding another one, putting it all into Watson's hands right now. He's backed off away from the bomb, headed down the yard quite a bit. Spots a player to the high side. Deca goes toe-to-toe, gets the kill. So after 8-Minded stack up the B site, they do allow a plant. They get that first round back into their pockets, under control.
Kind of an interesting strategy to stack 3 players on the ramp, obviously banking on the fact that it was likely to be an inner rush. Pretty common pistol round strategy. You just bombard lower. You usually don't send anyone upper. So it did kind of work in a sense for Horizon. I mean, they got the kills. They lost a few, but it was really the retake from 8-Minded that was solid. And kind of a surprise here to see the CT side go so quickly into rifles. B picking up the FAMAS. We've got an MP9 on Sin. He's the only one with an SMG up. Scratch that. Deca goes with a P90 as well, which barely an SMG if you can consider it one. The T side not forcing anything up here outside of a few smokes and flashes and a Tech 9 on Tanner. Deagle on Watson. They're probably going to go for a buy in the next one. They just want to try and get the bomb down, hence all the smokes and flashes. The question is where they're going to use them. I think they're going to probably fake outside and then maybe go inner, or they're going to use the ladder. Yeah, they're going to use the ladder to exploit the inner site. Nade right on top of Ado. They're just going for the plant, and unfortunately it's not going to happen. The nade basically shuts everything down. Now the bomb's on the site. It's going to be really difficult for them to get this one. Deca getting 2 with the P90. It's all but fell apart. They are going to be able to squeeze the plant in somehow. The last man standing, Tanner, saves the day. But 8-Minded do pick up the pistol round and the round that follows, only losing 1 body as well, and it was the P90 of all guns.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll pick it right back up. Well, get that MP9 out of his hands, get that P90 back. It doesn't seem like they'll actually find it or something. May have been blown away by a grenade. There was a nice little grenade tossed in there to kind of, I guess, diffuse the situation a bit. It was more I don't know if you're familiar with lawn games, but it looked like a nice little bocce, underhanded roll into the bomb site. Rolled a grenade in there, detonated, blew up the bomb planter, and we've got ourselves 8-Minded up 2-0. But after that first round bomb plant, we'll see AK-47s in the hands of Horizon Union. So full kits for them as well. They've got all head armor and a bunch of utility to work with. So they're going to rely on their rifles rather than their pistol work to come into here. The utility being spread right down. It's going to be Mario. Now, I watched Mario play a couple of games about a week ago from Pop Dog. He owns this region. All Pop Dog all the way back to the beginning of that train. He dominates it. And right now it's going to be a 2-on-3. They're still holding onto the site rather well. Watson's kind of caught out. But he'll spray down and force 8-Minded to gather some cover as he finds himself back towards the E-box. Spots another player. It's going to even it out to a 2-on-2 and a wise move as Horizon Union back up and force 8-Minded to play either a 2-to-a-site retake or split their defense 1-and-1.
Yeah, and I don't know what Horizon Union's plan is here, but I don't think they actually want to go B. This is a bit of a bait and switch. It looks like they're going to backpedal after coming up ladder. They're going to head towards the A bomb site, and now they've done what they wanted. They split the defense. The problem is that Sin does have the AWP, and he's watching towards T-Con, so if they make their way in this direction, it's going to be quite hard for them to make it out of T-Connector, but it does look like they want to head over towards the Ivy. And you can see Sin's kind of trying to figure out what's going on here, and now he's getting into position. Could be the one that shuts this round down. It's a matter of whether or not he turns to Ivy in time, and ooh, it's like a sixth sense. Does he turn, though? He's about to get shot in the side of the head if he's not careful. He could easily get caught. The question is whether or not Watson peeks him. If he's scoping and unscoping, it should be easy for him to be spotted, and there you go. Now it's on Seb. Kitless and pretty low on HP as well, 53. And he's got 2 players left on the T side to try and take down. Bomb's going to be planted on the A site, front of the bomb site, so he's going to have to work his way around bomb train right now. They're both heading up towards the T side hell area. One kind of playing sandwich right now. Oh, nope, he's moved blue train, so interesting crossfire. Oh, Seb spots one, tries to put bullets in him. Should be going down here. There you go. Good crossfire setup from Horizon Union. And it is going to be the first round coming in for the T side.
Yeah, Seb unknowingly just waltzed right into the mouth of the beast, walked right into the middle of the crossfire. Instead of taking his time after spotting that first terrorist to try and find the second one, that T was kind of nudged into a cubby, so he decided to take the opportunity sooner rather than later in case that T relocated, and then he wouldn't have gotten anything for it, but it's the way it worked out for him anyway. So Horizon Union take their first round on the board in the third, and they've gotten enough bomb plants, and they'll find themselves with an AWP in Prism's hands right here. But just a Tech 9 for Tanner, though. As they kind of infiltrate in, they're going to take the upper region of the B site, and Dekka's up there with a 5-7, trying to get within lethal range of this if anybody rounds that corner. But a wise play from Horizon Union. They are respecting the fact that 8-Minded might be pulling some kind of eco-rush strat, so they're just sitting back on their haunches to see if anybody's just going to walk right into the open and get an easy frag so they can get an early entry. But instead, Horizon Union looks like they're going to be the ones making the first move and possibly finding themselves at lethal range against some 5-7s.
Yeah, this actually is a good situation here for Horizon Union. They should be able to clean up this round and start building up some money. They aren't really looking so hot that, they forced up to win that round. They lost a few bodies, came down to just 2 players, so they weren't really looking so good. Good pop flash here is going to catch B completely off guard, and Tanner just comes around the bend and makes quick work of him. Seb's at the bottom of ladder right now with a P250. He's full white, but they don't actually aggress onto that. The pop flash basically just there to annoy him. It looks like the T side of Horizon Union wants to go Ivy. Sin's the only one in position with the P250. It's quite a task to put on top of a P250 there. Seb getting the first kill of the round for the CTs, though. He's got himself an AK, and there you go. They're going to start making their way out of Ivy. It should be a matter of time before Sin goes down. He drops, and the only other player in the A side is actually Mario, who's sitting towards connector. He's got the 5-7 right around the corner, tries to spot the head, but Watson just able to take him down with the AK. And a slow and steady round from Horizon Union results in a bomb plant here, and it's just Dekka left for the retake.
Yeah, and they know Dekka's here. They heard him coming around the corner. They're going to try a pop flash, but it's not wide enough. Dekka is going to be able to take that down, but I don't think anything of value lost. He didn't even have an AK-47, just a Tech 9 for himself. So he'll go down with the ship. Not going to give anything up for his team, as Dekka now spots one more. That is going to be Elian now pressuring the issue. Dekka's going to try and get in, try and get some frags to do a bit of economic damage, but the wrap is coming around his backside. Doesn't matter. He's going to escape, and the bomb is going to detonate. I don't think there might be some friction to the backside of Dekka here. As he's going to try and escape out. Oh, he's going to get pinned. The bomb's not going to do any damage, but he almost takes down Watson with him. Horizon Union getting another one on the board, so that's 2-2. Looking pretty good on their T side so far. They've upset the CT's economy early, and now they're starting to find themselves a foothold.
It looks like they did have to drop a rifle for Elian, though, so he actually ends up coming out on a pretty decent buy. I believe it was Ado that dropped him. You could see him drop very low in cash at the beginning of the round. He didn't need to rebuy, so that's the only thing that makes sense. It's another eco here for 8-Minded. Losing in that third round really hurt them. And they put a little bit into it, just a little bit of armor. You can see a nade on B and then a defuse kit on Dekka. He's playing on the inner bomb site, sitting right on top of Pop Dog. A pop flash coming in for Tanner. No one's going to be home, so a waste of a flash to a certain degree, but he does get the knowledge that they're playing a little bit more passively on the B site. Dekka's still sitting back on this train, playing a dangerous game right now. He sits there longer and longer and longer, the more likely he is to get peeked from upper. A walk peek could easily take him out. He does not have head armor either, so any kind of headshot, even from a Glock, would do increased damage. Dekka still sitting on top of this Pop Dog train. He's really playing a dangerous game here. Seb pushing in towards ladder, trying to spot out any T-side player. But you can tell Horizon Union has been around this before. They know what to expect. They know that it's likely to be a pistol armor or 5.7s even just so deadly at close range. They don't want to fall into any traps.
Yeah, B almost managed to find a frag, only did 50 damage as the execute goes to the B site. Now, you mentioned they were playing passive on the B site, so this is going to be a forfeited plant. As Dekka finds a great headshot right there. He's working on number 2 as well. Mario's going to get in too. The bomb's on the ground. Mario's got 1. He's got 2 working on it. It's suddenly a 2v2. The CTs have not recovered any weaponry. They're down. The weapons are down near the default bomb plant position. As Watson gets that kill and leaves it all up to Seb. He does have himself a 5.7 and 17 seconds left to go. Seb, all he needs to do is really get the bomb planter once, and things could completely run out of control. He's got it. There it is. It's going to be Seb to try and save the day. 1-on-1, 7 seconds. Seb just going to try and stay alive. Prism has the bomb, and he does not have enough time. Seb not going to challenge it, and that is a successful eco round. They buy up, well, some chest armor and a defuse kit in that case, and 5.7s as well, but that wasn't enough to upset Ops, AKs, a full kit of utility. Horizon Union just took too much time getting down there.
Yeah, Horizon Union played very passively because they knew that the pistol armor buy could potentially be out. It would be very dangerous. I'm not really sure what they're thinking here. They took a long time to determine what they wanted to do in this round. It does look like they decided to buy up. They're going to go with one player on pistol armor. Ado only had like $1,400. But even still, you know, they had really taken their sweet time to get that buy, and it's going to limit them even more time-wise. That potential for a rush, which a lot of teams love to just go like raw speed toward B, or sometimes just push out of T-Con really quickly, use a flashbang to get entrance. Instead, they're going to have to come up with something a little more tactical and wise. Watson peeking towards Ivy, and it seems almost like a free kill as Sin doesn't even get a bullet into Watson's body. So that's going to put them in a pretty good position here. A nice start. Oh, Watson peeks a little too wide, trying to smoke off Ivy. And it's going to be Mario to strike. Now they want to go towards the inner sight. Deca behind Bomb Train. Nice shot onto Ado. The man who had the CZ-75 in the armor. Was a pretty easy headshot due to the fact that he did not have head armor. Another one for Deca. He's looking for more. He's going to find 3. Searching down the 4K right now as Tanner is the only one left in sight. He's got the AK. The bomb is down right on the front of Bomb Train. He's spotted by B, and now it's just a frenzy, a horde of bullets heading his direction. And 8-Minded take their 4th round, and they've actually broken the money on Horizon Union, so it should be an eco coming in from them.
A greedy play. The smoke to get it deep down Ivy was a bit ballsy, I would say. He tried to get it all the way back there, but he got caught with his pants down as he was pulling the pin on the smoke and just got completely smashed. So it was at Ivy, it was a 1-for-1 trade. It was an elongated time-wise trade, but it doesn't work out for Horizon Union. They'll be sent right back down to Glocks. Glocks on their eco round. I don't know if they'll be nearly as successful as what we saw 8-Minded's eco round going. They're going to challenge all the way straight down Ivy. Here they go, close range. Sin's going to get one and backed up by Seb. Look at the teamwork. They're just shooting over each other's shoulders. Fantastic. But it was all a ruse. Tanner has the bomb, and he's going to try and make his way to the B site, but 8-Minded's not going to be falling for that one.
So, I mean, that was really no surprise. Horizon Union went with the lightest buy possible, knowing that they wanted to have that additional money for some utility in this round. You can see they're going to get a pretty good amount of it. They're going to have AKs and a decent amount of grenades, favoring the Molotovs and smokes over the flashbangs. They've got 3 mollies and 5 smokes, so they really have the potential opportunity for a solid take here. They'll use the flashbangs to get in, but the smokes to cover. And I'm not sure what the plan is, but they've made their way quickly out of T-Con, and this is exactly what I was saying they would lack in the last round because they just took too long to get out of spawn. They move into the A site quickly, and it's a frenzy of bullets going in both directions. But it looks like it is Horizon Union who come out on the receiving end for the most part. Watson, the only one left standing, he's got 5 HP, walking towards a smoke that was just spammed by a player in CTZ. And it ends up being a round for 8-Minded. That was really fast for a rifle round. I mean, basically, they threw everything they could out there, and unfortunately, it was 8-Minded who came out on top. So Horizon Union likely to either force up here or go for an eco. The big thing is, though, right now, you can see there's a massive separation on their side. The top fragger, Watson, at 12, Ado at 0. He still has yet to find a frag. We're 8 rounds in. He's died every single time.
Oof. That's tough. I mean, it is a CT-sided map, but getting no frags. I don't know if he's playing support or what, but we're going to see another eco round for Horizon Union. They do pick themselves up at M4. They're going to march straight down into the A site. No hesitation. They're just pouring in. The bomb's down as well. Already just Tanner and Prism remain. Tanner's going to peek out and get wiped out. So he had an M4. The only blood they could draw was from Mario. And right now it's Prism that's actually got a good shot right there. But rounding the corner, Seb's going to get that one. So they do make it moderately expensive. They take down 2 players, but still 8-Minded starting to rack up the bills. Wow, B is up to $13,000 before he buys. And some of his teammates also up there as well, nearly $8,000 on Deca. So they've got a good economy now. They've gotten enough money in the bank that they can get a bit of an insurance policy if they do drop one round. They managed to buy up behind that and try and shatter Horizon Union's, now, as it stands, max loss bonus.
Yeah, and you know, the thing with the frag count is it's not really as important. I mean, it is important to a certain degree. As long as you're getting frags, it's all that really matters. Even if it's not on one player, you know, it's not necessarily that big of a deal. The issue is that they have 2 players that have died every round. Both Tanner and Ado have not been able to survive. The economic repercussions of losing a body every single round obviously can drain a team's economy. Prism's died all but 1 round. The only 2 players who have survived 2 or more rounds is Watson and Elian. And, they've gotten a few bomb plants, but it hasn't really given them too much to work with. It started out so promising for Horizon Union. I thought for certain they were going to get more rounds on top of that 3rd round force, but it just hasn't come together. Now they're moving into round number 10 with a decent start as they've taken down Sin. Prism slowly peeking towards B, the Molly giving B a little bit of time to survive there. I don't think either player spotted each other through that thick black smoke, compliments of the napalm. Round's going to tick away down to about 50 seconds. Still no decisions made by the T side here, not getting over greedy. They got that opening pick. Now they're just trying to see what the CT side is going to do about it. They still continue to stack 3 players outside. They haven't rotated anyone back towards inner. So Dekka's on the solo hold, but kind of to be expected. He's been solo holding for most of the game. And there you go, B with the equalizer to put it back to a 4-on-4. Great shot on towards Ivy. He hears the footsteps from Prism, so I think he knows he's in this position. He has to get the shot here and not going to come out on top. And now they're going to get pinched on the A site, and they know it. Great spin shot from Seb. Somehow he gets the kill. But bullets going in each direction, and Dekka, the only one left alive here, he's in the site, hoping to prevent the plant. He's got 10 seconds to kill here. And there you go. The first one goes his way. The spray duel is going to commence. But it is Elian coming out on top, and Horizon Union steal one away. But at what cost? I mean, they lost so much in that round.
Yeah, they did, and they didn't even get the bomb down to give them a little extra cash that they may have needed. And we mentioned this. 8-Minded had enough money in their bank that they don't even care. They lost 1 round. They're going to get an AWP back into Sin's hands. See if they can do any work with that, and that would shatter their economy, Horizon Union's economy, if they were to lose this one. They need to start winning rounds back-to-back, and you mentioned at what cost. They need to start winning rounds healthy. Only 1 player surviving last round, last round, and it was close at that. Nice little one-way smoke from Dekka. Fantastic play from him. I just learned something. As Ado now going to try and use this back the other direction. Sees it, gets the kill. There it is, but it's an execute into the B site. Is B trying to do some damage, but he's not going to be able to prevent the bomb plant. It's going to be a 4-man retake as Horizon Union having 3 players remaining, Elian, Otto, and Watson now. And they're taking a ton of damage. There goes Otto. He's going to hit the deck. Elian out with a good angle. Gets that one. He's going to get. Can he spray through the smoke? He does. As the smoke begins to fade, it's a 2-on-2. And Elian didn't quite see that player, but it doesn't matter. He spray transfers over. Headshot. Fantastic hold right there. They were outnumbered the entire way through. Fantastic. But Horizon Union now, they do win that round and starting to get 4 or 5 rounds on your T side. They're starting to make it look like a pretty normal T half, if not even better.
That was a nice little one-way from Dekka there. I don't think I've seen that one before. The only problem was, while it was a great one-way, when you play up close, there's too much of a gap in the top of it. So as a result, once he gets that first kill, they can just creep along the edge of it and spot the gap, and you can see it ended up biting him in the butt. So he gets a 1-for-1, and he also kind of sold a little bit of an interesting play to his opponent there for free. Good shooting here from Prism to get the opening pick with the AWP outside. Both players making their way up on top of the trains. Mario tries to do what he can, not enough. Prism only loses a little bit of health for the shot. So Horizon Union getting right back into this game. A few more rounds on the board, and they'll be in a pretty good position. Watson may have heard someone pushing towards Ivy. He's holding and waiting. Now he definitely hears Sin jiggle peeking, but it's actually going to be Elian that just taps away at his head. And it's a 5-on-2 right now, as Seb and Dekka are left scratching their heads at what happened to this round here. They did put a little bit of money into it. Seb's on an armorless rifle, and Dekka with the armor scout. Seb's probably going to go down here. Aim punch is going to take over. And that right there is why you don't buy an armorless rifle. Pretty much impossible to counteract that aim punch. So it's just Dekka here. He's got a scout and he's got head armor, but he doesn't really have a snowball's chance in hell at taking this round. I kind of think he should just save. I know it's just a scout and it's armor, but there's really nothing he can get out of this one. I mean, yeah, he can do some economic damage, but what are you going to do with a scout? How much economic damage can you really do? Once they figure out where you are, it's just a matter of swarming you, and that's exactly what happens. So Horizon Union find their 5th, but we're coming into another bye here for 8-Minded.
Yeah, now things turning the table. It started out, looked like Horizon Union had a really good start. It was 2-2, and then 8-Minded strung up 5 rounds back-to-back, and it looked like it was out of control, but Horizon Union back at the helm. They will start to control the pace of this game. Really, they've been controlling the pace throughout this matchup. 8-Minded, very passive in the sense that they'll just sit back on the site. They don't get greedy anywhere, it seems, on this map at all. We haven't seen that yet, and so what we've seen from Horizon Union is very, very slow play, methodical. A lot of these rounds have gone down to 10 seconds less. on the clock before they decide to plant the bomb. They'll execute about 20 seconds left on the round, but we'll see what happens this time as 8-Minded with a 2-round lead have themselves back into Sin's hand, but no head armor for anybody. That's a smart move. They know they're up against AK-47s and some ops to work with as well, so they're going to get a bit extra utility in their pockets. Some players with flashbangs. Only Mario with smoke right now, so they can't really slow down a quick push as it stands, but all the way back at Ivy is where the bomb is poised and ready to strike. The first person going to be challenged is likely Sin, who's hanging out watching Ivy from the CT side.
I'd like to see the CT side of 8-Minded get a little bit more aggressive, knowing that Horizon Union is playing this slow game. Try and catch them in a bit of a trap. Prism going to go down with the first peek from Sin. Sin's going to backpedal here, head towards Old Bomb. Nade right on top of his former position, but he's already made it out of dodge. He's going to help his teammate, though. Seb is in a really difficult spot here, playing in Sandwich. He's going to get one. Now he's caught out between two players, one coming in from Ivy, one coming in from T-Con. Doesn't matter. He gets the peek. Can he get the spin on the man from Ivy? No, he's not going to get him. Tanner with some great shooting, a little bit of recoil recovery there onto Sin. And now it's a 1v2, and Tanner is hunting down the ace. Oh, he spots B and does put some bullets in his direction. B with a little bit of a rainbow arc flash. But there's so little time left. Again, this is kind of what we had talked about. Horizon Union just can't get past this clock. And they're able to get the bomb plant, but they do end up succumbing to the retake from Deca and B. So 8-Minded get their 8th round on the board, and Horizon Union will be able to buy yet again. But ironically, 8-Minded win the round and actually come out a little bit weaker because of it. Look at the money on their side. They're actually kind of in pieces.
Yeah, they are. They tried to get their economy back under control. We saw 2 players, I think it was 2 or 3 rounds ago, with one with an armored scout and then one with an armored M4, or an unarmored M4, to try and get their money balanced back out with each other. And they did do that. It's right now they've bottomed out their wallets one more time. It's going to be Sin now. Now, I watched Sin play that from CT spawn. He got greedy. He got the first pick, but instead of falling back and going to the next angle, he continued to peek and push the issue. And it ended up costing him his life. So he did go down at that angle, but Horizon Union trying to challenge this one more time. They have themselves a full buy as well. Les Watson's Galil, if you would consider so, and Alien's Galil as well. But they're going to try Ivy one more time. Sin's just top of it, trying to rain down from above, and he gets one, but he's going to be immediately traded out. Tees are now going to try and take this territory for themselves. Looks like actually they'll just hold that angle. It's going to keep Seb looking that direction to make sure nobody goes that way, but he's throwing a smoke maybe a bit too deep, all the way back towards the CT side of the corner there. It's almost completely worthless. So it's an even 4-on-4 right now. Horizon Union's okay with that trade as they get to choose what site. But right now they're just allowing as many 1v1 challenges as they so deem. Horizon Union spread out across the map. 2 players that are together are going to be Otto and Tanner that are in the upper regions of B. So that leads me to believe that it is going to be a B strike. But again, they're up against the clock. There's only 45 seconds left, and they're not really in a position to strike right now. They're going to finally start to throw smokes down on the site, but the bomb's still in the bathrooms on its way in. I guess they'll try and secure the site first before they go in, but they've just now used a lot of utility, but for no gain, it seems. Mario just waiting for Elian to peek his head out, but Elian's the wiser, not going to peek that out. I mentioned Mario dominates in that Pop Dog region. 20 seconds remain. They're going to finally push the issue. A bit of a fake drawn towards the A direction, but it doesn't matter. They spotted the bomb on site, and there it is. They basically just sewed themselves shut. The bomb's down on the ground. They can't get it. It's 10 seconds now remaining. It's going to be Deca to clean that up. Just very slow executions, and they have to play perfectly with that little time remaining. If anything messes up, the round's been thrown.
So 9 rounds now piling on for 8-Minded, and they've finally put themselves in a position where a full buy is actual reality here. The opposite side, Horizon Union, working with pistols. This is probably the round they should be moving quickly. They have 3 pistols, a CZ75 and 2 Tech 9s, double AK as well. A little bit of utility smokes and flashes, but only 1 Molotov. Probably just going to be a fast B play. It does look like they're setting up for that. Actually, it might be an A play here. They had the player coming in T-Con, but he's just the decoy right now. He was tossing smokes and flashes for a ladder push. They're going to overwhelm the man on lower. It was Deca who got close. He only got 1 for his troubles. Good flash deep in by Ado. He's going to push all the way up Tanker Train. Should be a freebie on B. Maybe even another one to follow up on Mario. And now it is down to just 2 men. Seb and Sin, the 2 S-minded players, both sitting on a little bit limited utility. They do have a double kit, though. AWP and M4, and Seb is in a really awkward spot here. He's being pushed and shot at from multiple angles, and down goes his teammate. It's just Seb, 1v3. So Horizon Union make it a 9-6 at half. And that is something that I wish we saw from them sooner on Horizon Union. They had multiple opportunities to play the speed play, and instead they played slow, and they ended up restricting themselves, putting themselves in a spot where they were down 10 to 15 seconds, and they were finally getting onto the bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, there was no in-between. Horizon Union did a couple rounds kind of just peppered in here and there for speed, but the vast majority of those rounds were very, very slow. There was no real in-between whatsoever. They didn't really do any kind of smoke play or fake play. They did one fake play, but it was an eco round, no big deal, and they all got crushed in that direction anyway. But see what happens is 8Minded get to choose what kind of strats they'll choose on their T side. Hopefully we'll see some creativity coming out of these guys.
Now, I just want to point you guys in the direction of one of our main sponsors here for Fragadelphia 8 Online. That would be Gamer Saloon. So head on over to gamersaloon.com/frag. If you think that you have what it takes, if you think you're a player who's just on the cusp of becoming a pro and you have the aim to make a decent chunk of change, well, that's what you can do over at Gamer Saloon. So sign up for an account now at gamersaloon.com/frag. It's basically deathmatch. Every kill earns you cash. Every death takes some away. So you hedge your skill against your opponents, and you hope to come out on top. Again, it's gamersaloon.com/frag. You can get all the details there. Now, moving into the second half, Horizon Union played that so carefully, and it was actually kind of impressive to see a team play with such care and focus. A lot of times you see teams that kind of just like full bore speed on maps like Train. Like Train, Overpass, and Cobble, a lot of times you don't really see raw tactical play from two teams at this level. You see just kind of like, I'm just going to run as fast as I can to A, and I'm just going to run as fast as I can to B, and whoever kills each other, they're going to get to win the round. You see that a lot, especially on Train and Cobble. You see teams that just don't really have anything more in their arsenal than a speed B. So at first it didn't look like Horizon Union was going to do much, and then as the round progressed, they were playing slow. They had smoke takes for the A side. It showed why they picked the map. But ultimately, they played too slow. Even with the extended round timer of 1 minute and 55 seconds, they were still finding themselves on around 20 seconds before they were cracking into a bomb site. And a lot of times they had to force a plant without being able to even clear the site.
Yeah, maybe Horizon Union underestimated the poise and discipline from 8Minded. They maybe expected them to just push out after they maybe get bored. Little ants in their pants as they'll try and push out of a site, maybe try and get an angle here or there, but we didn't see it. Not once did we see 8Minded push out and get aggressive anywhere. The entire 15 rounds, all players sat in their respective sites and had dedicated roles. They played it very well. They did just fine, but it was Horizon Union that I feel came out on top that half as they picked themselves up 6. But we will be heading into the second half right here. Our second pistol try. Here we go.
So the GLHF being called out here as the second half is underway. 9-6 right now. 8Minded moving over to their T side. Horizon Union just a pistol round away from tying things up if they can chain together those anti-ecos. We saw what happened in the first half, though. If 8Minded get the bomb plant in the first round, likely to be an eco to follow, and then a full buy-up, or as much as they can muster in the round after that. The third round buy has become so common in Counter-Strike, and it's become so powerful as well with the way that teams buy SMGs in the second round. They can't really afford to throw those away and pick up rifles, but if you buy rifles in the second round and they force then, you're in a tight spot where you're basically giving away a FAMAS to a Tech-9 at close range. The peek towards B is going to get spotted by Watson. Smoke to follow up as they try to make their way out. A smoke right on top of their path, but it doesn't really make too much of a difference. They're going to be able to get the bomb in the site. Elian's already towards the back as he works his way up towards train stops. He's trying to spot players as they escape from the bomb, but they're not even going to peek him. They're just going to play post-plan here, and they're playing this wisely. They'll let the CT side get close. They know they have Glocks against USPs. A couple up on the roof, and they're jumping their way into the site. Deka's going to spot the first one. He gets some support by way of Sin's Glock, and he's got a Molly as well. He's going to drop that right on top of the bomb. He buys himself more time, gets into the smoke, and that's all he really needs to do. Seb is holding a Molly in position. He's going to throw that as well. This is beautifully played by the boys from 8Minded. You can see B's got another Molly. He was hoping he was going to get to throw it, but it doesn't seem like it's going to matter. The smoke lands right on top. Elian gets the last kill of the round, and Horizon Union does pick up the pistol round that 8Minded looked like they might actually grab.
I loved it. Horizon Union intentionally kept smokes in their hands, waiting, knowing that it's likely going to be a Molotov play on if it's going to go to the B site. They could use those smokes to dissipate the smoke, move in for a defuse. They even had a kit as well, so there was nothing really. I mean, it was. I've seen that play that 8Minded did just there, like 100 times over. And usually it ends up, there's no smokes remaining in the CT side's hands. And because of that, the mollies burn and burn. They burn enough time off the clock that it's just an easy round. The round goes that way. But doesn't matter. Horizon Union picked that one up due to their proper planning, preventing poor performance. And we'll see. I think the best thing we've got is some P250s for 8-minded to try and find their way into the side. Likely just going to try and execute quickly again. They are spread out a bit as Seb has found himself all the way into the outer train yard. He's all the way up near the bomb train before he's finally taken out. There it is, Tanner to find him. And there goes into the B site. Nice double shot. Watson with 2 headshots on a single little burst. Here's a player over the top, and Watson's going to get another one. Make it 4 for Watson. A wide angle from him as well, as he was well back towards the tanker train, getting a good frag there. And 1 little burst. I love the burst, and got 2 kills for it.
And this should be the buy-up here coming in from 8-minded. So like we said, they planted the bomb in the first round. They were really banking on taking the pistol round based on the buy. They went with mollies. They were very smart and careful about the buy. They really thought it through. It just didn't come together for them. But because they did get that bomb plant and they really put no investment in the last round, they are able to go into that stereotypical third-round AK buy. And the CT side is not necessarily giving them too much wiggle room here with 2 FAMAS and an op. Oh no, they could potentially get a double here on Ivy as they push through. A great pop flash from Ado as he drops one just beyond the cusp of Ivy. And that's an awesome start for the round here for Horizon. As you can see, B is down, and B had a pretty solid first half, sitting at 13 and 10, not top fracking, but doing decent work for his side. So it's going to restrict the take here from 8-minded in a round when they already had limited utility. Losing that 1 player makes it that much harder, but a nice trade out here as Seb spots Tanner and takes us to an even 4-on-4.
Yeah, Tanner was in a wide position right there, almost near E-Box, but he didn't have anybody watching T-Con, or at least an angle that could hold that as efficiently. Usually you would expect Prism with the op to be watching the T-Con direction. He's instead going to be in Z watching the upper regions of the B site. So because of that, Tanner goes down. It's eventually a 1-for-1 trade, but B, losing him early is a big deal, and that's got to be so frustrating. That's something you have to look out for going through Ivy. As a terrorist, you can get easily caught out. You almost just want to stop and wait and see if any flashbangs come. If they come, you can take cover and just wait out those first flashes. So good frags from them, both sides. It's a 4-on-4 with the A site, which has been virtually abandoned. It's going to be a 4-man rotate. Horizon now over on that site, and it doesn't matter. The A site's now owned by 8-minded. Elian's shown up to the show late, and he's going to pay for it. Mario finds that one, and the T set up a crossfire across C, and here they go. 1-2. No, it's going to be Prism to turn that one around with an op. Prism and Watson in a 2v3 retake situation right now, and they will just call for the save. So they're going to keep a FAMAS and then op. I would wonder if Watson wants to try and get forward and get a bit greedy, but I guess he'll just hold on to his utility armor and defuse kit. Keep that for next round rather than trying to find an AK or something.
I don't know if you saw that boost that they were doing in ladder room. That was actually pretty impressive. So Mario jumped on top of a head in ladder. At the bottom of ladder, there's the box right outside the door. So they boosted up, and he could see over top of the boxes, between the window and the box, he could see the top of Brown Train. So if someone was playing on top of Brown or peeking from the ladder, he can actually see them from up in that position. I haven't actually seen that boost before, and it's not something you see a lot of teams do because you don't really see Train played a whole lot often, and when you do, it's usually not a team that's put a lot of work into it. So usually when you see Train played, it's very sloppy. It's just kind of like a pug-happy attack from the T side, a very standard hold from the CT side. So far I've seen 2 teams doing unique things on Train that maybe I haven't seen so much of, and that's at least a little bit refreshing. 8-minded do pick up that round like you had said, though. They're going to survive with, I think they were trying to survive with rifles, but they didn't actually make it out alive. I was just so busy focusing on that boost and trying to figure out who it was underneath, and I kind of lost track of the round. But even still, a 10-8 scoreline now for 8-minded with Horizon Union looking at an eco. Things are not looking so hot for them. They're about to go down to a potentially 11-8 before they can come into another buy. And even still, the money on their side isn't going to be that hot, only getting $1,900. So even the richest player on their team right now would be at $4,700, which, yeah, you can buy with that, but you're not going to be able to get an op. And there are people on this team way weaker. I don't even know if they'll be able to buy in the next round.
Yeah, they lost that up. They lost a player due to a connection issue, I think. Oh, good spray down right there from Mario. Deca's going to get that one. The assistance from Addo, actually. Addo doing a bit of damage to his teammate, but an eco around nonetheless. They do take Mario down. It's just an AK-47. Still a net positive for 8-minded. So I think towards the end of that 2 rounds ago, Couldn't tell if it was the op or the FAMAS. Someone had lost connection and lost their weapon. I think. There was a kill towards the latter part of that round, but I'm fairly certain that's what happened.
Both players went down. I think maybe one disconnected. Like I said, I wasn't paying attention so much. I was watching the boost, and then I kind of lost track of the round there towards the end. But it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're coming into another bye here. It's a force, which I guess I can understand here from Horizon Union. They haven't really, they didn't really want to give up one more round and put themselves on 12-8. A couple of the players were able to buy up fine. They have very limited utility, no kit, no head armor. They're basically playing bomb prevention here. They can't play a retake. If the bomb goes down, they're going to have to move too quickly, and they can't afford to lose the rifles. So more than likely, if the bomb does get planted inside or outside and it comes down to under like 3 players or less for Horizon Union, it will be a save. They just don't have the capability of going for the retake here. With a minute left, though, really no action from either side. 8-Minded looks like they might be creeping up towards Ivy. They're going to try and get some information here. Potentially an A take, but still no real direction decided upon.
Yeah, this second half starting the exact same way. The first half started 2-2 right now on the second half. Is rounds being exchanged, but nothing of value lost until B uncharacteristically misses a shot right there. Addo dropped down to 74 health, and the smoke's going to try and cut him off, but Addo might just try and Stewie 2K this through the smoke. Now he's just going to post up just on the opposing side of that. He's just facing straight through the smoke. Round sent down range may have just gone right over the bow, and they're just going to continue this. They're actually going to wrap it over. There it is. Seb's going to get one, and that is the bomb carrier spotted on the A site. Watson going to try and make his way out of the B site. He's going to find Deka. Deka almost kills himself dropping down. Instead, it's going to be a 3-on-3 retake right now. Players are very, very lit. Mario, in fact, down to 4 HP. The USP is enough to finish him off. But these CTs are so tagged, and you mentioned, could they do the retake? It might look manageable right now with a 2-on-2, but they have to get their act in gear with no kit on board. They have to start moving. Elian coming out of Z, and Prism also coming through. Misses a shot just over the top. Now Elian's going to come up the ladder, and will get pre-fire, making too much noise going up top. 8-Minded picked that one up, and they do make it expensive as well.
Yep, so it should be another pistol round here. At the very least, a force buy, but more than likely a pistol round. It's 12-8. Sure, you don't want to make it 13-8. I think it'd be foolish to go for a pistol armor buy here. You should probably just go with the pistols, because you saw how broken the buy was the last time. It doesn't make sense to put anything too heavy into it, and they're not going to. A 5.7, a P250 or so, and a CZ75 with a flash. Probably use the flash to try and open something up. He's going to push down Ivy. It's that pop flash he used a few rounds ago. Little does he know their Sin is just sitting back waiting for him, but he doesn't peek wide enough to catch him. And you can see it's 8-Minded just walking into the A site, because most of the T side or CT side had pushed all the way through towards ladder and T spawn. B sitting at the bottom of the ladder, spams through the smoke. Watson gets tagged, jumps right back up the smoke, and says, "Nope, I'm out of here. See you later."
A whole lot of nope.
And it's still just 4 players for the CT side, but they don't really have anything they can do in this situation. They're basically just going to play for exits, hoping that 8-Minded goes on the hunt.
Yeah, and they'll post up right now. Looks like at the top with Pop Dog, hoping that B chooses to go up the ladder, but instead he's going to go through T-Con. So they do wisely play this, at least 2 men together, it seems. So they don't lose any rifles and such, but, well, they do lose that one, but Tanner's not able to recover that off. So I think the op was picked back up by B, yeah. And so they do secure that round. Another good one. It looks like they're starting to run away with things. It's really up to Horizon Union right here and right now with the what economy they have standing to try and stop the bleeding.
So yeah, they kind of scrape together a buy. They scrum up some money here, and they're able to get a pretty decent one, double kit, but basically full utility across the board. No op in play, so they don't really have a way to counter Sin, but Sin's got to be careful. This is the textbook push we've been seeing from 8-0 round and round again. Now, he does go with a smoke this time, so he can potentially hang around in this position if he wants, but really, he's just extending Ivy. It's as if he added 25 feet to the end of Ivy. He made it that much longer, that much harder for the T side to get control of. Just by throwing that smoke and that flash, he's keeping them honest. They know not to push into this because they really don't know what's on the other side. So it buys time for his team, but it buys time deep into T spawn. So it's not like he put the smoke at the end of Ivy on his side where the T side can aggress all the way to that point and wait. They have to stop almost in their own spawn. Smoke does fade, though, so both players making their way up. Sin with the op, he's the first one to peek. The molly gives him a bit of cover, and actually B almost took a shot to the back of the head, so lucky for 8-Minded, no damage has been dealt to the teammates. Still, holding around in this position is Ado, and Sin gets the reflex shot. Now B is going to chime in with a kill of his own onto Prism. He spots one towards Heaven. He's going to make the call. The Op's going to wait for him. And it's probably just a matter of time before this man in Heaven is dead. I believe that is Tanner up there, and there you go. Bullets raining in his direction. The CT side trying to do what they can to get in on the retake. But it's a 2v4 with Bomb going down with about 30 seconds left on the clock. And it's going to be pretty hard for this man, Old Bomb, to even get out of here.
Yeah, Watson does find himself one kill, but there's already a pretty good bank account built up anyway. They are going to probably hunt towards the latter parts of this bomb plant to try and pull these this AK and M4 out of their hands. And they could do that. Right now they're just posted up on toward the backside of there. Oh, easy shot right there from Sin. He's been lighting things up today. Sin's just he's really well with the op, actually. I look at the scoreboard, he's not really fragging that hard, but it seems like when he does get frags, they're pivotal when absolute necessary. He's watching over a teammate's shoulder, getting a frag, making sure that if it is a trade, he's there to make it. So yeah, they do start that hunt. Watson prevents Mario from Goomba pouncing him, whatever that is, whatever. Gets that frag, and they'll keep an AK-47 in Watson's hand, and they got to buy up, I think, right here. Yep, they will. So they're going to buy up an ump with some chest armor as well, and they're going to be thinking about this, actually. Elian and crew, Tanner in prison behind them, haven't yet to buy. Yeah, so here they go. This is really the last stand for Horizon right here. What they can do with an under-weaponized team is going to be impressive if they can.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to use the ump of Famas as well. The rest of the team has a decent bit built up, but even still, it's going to be very difficult. The T side is decked to the gills. They're armed up quite a bit. B's going to spot one, a pop flash around the corner. Oh, B gets a little bit lucky. He's going to spot one full blind. Another flash to follow, but the last man in this position doesn't feel too keen on peeking. That would be Prism. He's stuck behind the box now. Mollies himself off just to prevent the push. A nice flash to follow, but the nade actually did a decent bit of damage too, dropping him down to 76. Elian finds another one, forces us to a 3v3 with 1:15 left in the 23rd round of regulation. Both teams trying to fight for their squad. 8-Minded looking a little bit stronger naturally. They're at 14 rounds right now. Horizon Union basically bought to stay in the game. They didn't want to fight for overtime. They didn't feel keen to save one more time and realize they'd have to win 7 in a row. And I kind of agree with the decision. It's a BO3. You're going to try and fight for it. You can afford to surrender a map, but you know it's worth it to just put everything in there. You don't want to necessarily go into OT or think you have to go into OT the entire game. The money would have been okay, but you're just in such a tight spot. It's better to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room, and so far it's worked. As this 3-on-3 is turned into a pretty slow play here from 8-Minded. Looks like they want to go towards the inner site where they happen to have 2 players here for the CT side. Elian and Watson. A flash buys them some time, but Elian gets into better position. And here's the crossfire setup. Doesn't even matter. Elian doesn't even do enough damage for an assist. It's all Watson on the inner site. And Horizon Union finally pick up that 9th round. And they've lost full loss bonus. So we'll see what they're going to do here with the money they have left.
I actually thought 8-Minded was going to get into that site. No problem. Just minimal resistance. Horizon Union did have 2 players defending that site. They had Watson and I believe Tanner, crew company, helping him out. So as best defended as they could have really had it. They left 1 player to the A site to work that, but they defended it well. But a very quick round, it looks like. They're going to try and take the high ground on the ladders up top of the trains to try and see over top of the smokes right now, but they don't really gain that much territory. Dekka's just smoked off on Pop Dog right now, waiting before he can get out. Sin opens things up, but he is costing him his life. It's a 1-for-1 trade right now as blood and guts are just spewed all over this A site. Watson coming around the backside. Oh, an unfortunate smoke. Oh, there it is. Watson gets the bomb to the ground. Elian finds a frag as well, but Mario's time now with the op. It's a 2-on-2. But 8-Minded there, those players that do remain are lit. Mario at 35, Seb at 4, as opposed to the CTs. Watson and Elian both full health, ready to chime in. They do now knock it down to just Seb. And he's not long for this world, so Horizon Union with their backs against the wall, string up 2 rounds together. They didn't win that one very healthy, but they do recover an op.
So they do end up getting the round. They've put themselves on double digits now. You know, there's something to be said about the fact that at least they've made it close. I mean, it was looking like it could potentially be a pretty easy victory here, and now they've put a couple more rounds on. They've actually put themselves in a pretty decent spot where if they win this round, they're breaking the money for 8-Minded. You can see even with what 8-Minded has, it's not that strong of a round. Still, though, 801 the UMP, you know, it's another round where you're just kind of like, oh man, they just really couldn't get an advantage here. Ato's going to be able to find himself an AWP, though, as they lost their AWPer towards T-Hal. Sin is holding top ladder, but doesn't matter. Ato gets the jump on him. So it's a 4-on-2 right now, as these speed rounds from the T side seem to be working against them now. And the CT side is setting up perfect traps for Horizon Union. Good flash from Watson, blinds Seb, and it's going to give him some time to get the shot. It's just Mario in the site here. He really wants this plant. They need that extra money, and he's going to get it. So now it's a 1v4 with Mario on Bomb Train. Gets one, but goes down immediately, and it will be another round for Horizon Union. Now 11 on the board. And with 3 rounds loss bonus, that's going to put them at $3,200 with that bomb plant. So still should be an eco here, potentially a force buy coming in from 8-Minded.
Yeah, they will have themselves max loss bonus before they're challenged. I mean, 8-Minded really just looking right now, just get 15 rounds on the board just to secure themselves at least some overtime. But it's looking so good for Horizon with these speedy plays. I mean, Horizon's not surviving that well off. They got 3 survivors, 2 survivors, and then 3 for the past 3 rounds. But it looks convincing from Horizon. They're taking these frags early and fast. The trades are efficient, and they'll be up against another eco round from 8-Minded. And they do lose B initially. I don't know what happened. He had probably just a P250 to work with. But he's just trying to draw some eyes over there. The A site is heavily stacked right now with 4 players. A quick rotate can come through Z in the eyes of Elian, but Watson is the sole defender on this B side. It's virtually a 1v4 right now. He's got an AK and a good spray transfer right there. It gets him his second one. So he nets 2 kills. It'll be a 2-on-4 right now. They do get the bomb plant down, but it is not long for this world. Seb goes down swinging, and they will find another round on the board. It's 12 for Horizon Union. 8-Minded has themselves 14.
You know, it was a good... the fact that they get the bomb, it's just a good round for 8-Minded. You know, they don't necessarily need to win the round. They still have an advantage here. Back-to-back bomb plants means bonus $800 twice. In that round, they got $2,400. Right? No, 14, 19, 20. That's $2,900. So $3,700. They're going to have a lot of money to work with here. Even after buying, they've got about $2K. So if they drop this one, they get full loss bonus on top of the money they already have, which means another full buy to follow. So potentially they could lose a lot of guns here and still have good money, whereas Horizon Union is in a similar position. So really both teams not against the wall, so to speak, economically. Finally, there has been some balance. The scales have been evened. And it looks like the CT side is going to lose a man early as Watson gets taken down for peeking upper. So that's a good start for 8-Minded. Smoke's about to rain out for outside. They could potentially use these to get down ladder, but still favoring towards inner right now, only sending one man to watch ladder. Elian gets a nice kill onto Seb, though, and that might kind of tip their hat a little bit. They know what could be going on. Prism right on the other side of the smoke somehow doesn't spot the body shooting directly at him. He's going to have to jump down in sight. He's very low on HP. Sees one cross towards Pop Dog. Can't get the shot in time, and his teammate goes down because of it. Re-peeks to get a second after taking down Deca, and he loses his life for it. So it is going to be a 3v2, now just a 3v1. And it looks like 8-Minded is about to pick up that tie point.
Yeah. Tanner looking to try and pressure this site. He does have a kit to try and do a defuse, but Sin, Death from Above, gets that one as 8-Minded secure themselves the 15th round map point. Not match point quite yet. This is just a map 1 of best of 3. But 8-Minded looked a bit more coordinated right there. They got in, they got an early frag traded out. I did like the boost that Elian got to get up on top of the ticket booth on Z. And got one frag, but it cost him nearly 90% of his life or so. So he was quickly tapped out as he tried to make his way back to the B site. And 8-Minded just need to hold steady and get efficient trades to that B site. And they do. So they find themselves on match point. It's a double op setup, though, for Horizon Union. And again, Addo pushing out, getting that extra 20 yards of Ivy to peek around the corner. A lot of utility being expended already from Horizon Union. They've blown quite a few of their smokes. They got 3 remaining, some Molotovs as well. But they've thrown quite a bit of this early on. And as long as these rounds go long like they have been going, you could extend it and get some early frags. But look at this. Addo is still pressuring the issue near Ivy. He's actually posted up now on the other end of the trash can as he gets a flashbang from his teammates trying to evacuate out. But he's playing still greedy. Spots the backside. Sin is probably wondering, why is he still peeking me? I have an op. Of all things, Addo comes out on top of that one as Horizon Union now looking to come back from the brink of destruction. It's a 5-on-2. Just Deca and Mario remain.
It was kind of an interesting play by Ado. I don't know if you saw this. So he pushes up Ivy, and he flashes and smokes his way out. Then he throws a molly down, but he throws it behind him. to his left. So he pushes towards dumpsters and throws the molly down on Ivy. Obviously, a CTC or a TC. Man, can't think here. Obviously, a T-sided player from 8 Minded is going to think he just mollied us off. He's falling back, and they can push up. Not the case. A wise play ends up giving his team a pretty solid advantage in this round, and they are going to come out on top of it as Deca is the last one to drop. Tanner Zob finding 3 on the round. It's 15-13, moving into round 29. One more buy coming in from the T side before they're going to be broke. They're going to juggle the guns around. If they lose this, though, it's an eco for round 30. However, we've seen how those ecos can sometimes work on train, catching teams off guard. Too many times you've seen a team move into round 30 with Tech 9 armor, and somehow that's the one that finally sinks the nail into the coffin. And it is Horizon Union with their backs against the wall, but they're still fighting for this one.
Yeah, they got a bit more to go. If they can take this win, they'll have what looks like 8 Minded having a busted up economy again. Probably just Tech 9 armor next round. If Horizon Union manage to pick this round up. Still, though, gotta cross that bridge when we get there. A little bit of rounds being exchanged, but right now they're just posted up. Looking to execute towards the B site, it appears. They're just in the upper rafters of B, looking to find themselves on the way down pretty soon. It looks like a smoke may have been misplaced a bit there from Watson, giving them a little bit of breathing room to see down ramp. But, action has yet to commence. Looks like a pretty good stack towards that A site with a quick rotation. Again, appears to be Prism. Actually, he's in the B site looking at ramp, leaving Watson to slowly climb the ladder. Oh, this is going to be brave. Very brave. Watson, do you peek? Oh, a good flashbang actually gives him a bit of an edge. Dropping Sin down to 5 HP as action erupts onto the B site. Mario finds Watson through the spool. Looks like they're going to try and find it. Another kill through the smoke. Seb gets that one. Oh, the burning! They think they prevented the bomb plan as well. He tried to stick it through, but he's not going to be able to. So it's a 3-on-2 right now, and the bomb's on the ground. 30 seconds remain.
And simultaneous frags coming out at the end of the round there as Horizon Union. They survive. I mean, I thought for certain when Watson dies there, that could be it. That pick had so much pressure on the round. If he gets that kill, he can push into upper and he can control the site from there. They can't really make their way out of lower. They have to swing one of their lower players back towards upper. He could take the duel with him. Basically, he weakens the take by taking away one, then a second player has to fight him. He has to go into that position because they know if he's up there, they're never going to get the bomb down. So it doesn't work out for them. Prism's going to get a little bit bold here, and he's going to peek with the op. A great start here. Surprise, surprise, it's the Pistol Armor buy coming in for the final round of regulation, just like we said. They actually do get the entries onto the site, but it's going to come down to just one man. Actually, no. Mario survives with 1 HP. He's a nade away from death. The molly just on the precipice of him. 8 Minded somehow have come out on top of this round. It's just Tanner with an AWP and a P250. And he's got 2 opponents here with 92 health combined. Mario with the bomb, 1 HP towards the site. Actually, bomb dropped on the front of Pup Dog. Mario is on bomb train with 1 health, and he's going to spot him, but it's going to be a great shot from Tanner now towards backside. It is B, and the action continues in the round. A pop flash from B. So much is happening here. Could B somehow come out on top of this one? And there it is! The Pistol Armor round that started out so strong.